Okay, so real quick, let's hook up this copy to clipboard button. It's real simple. We're going to stop my server because we need to install a package for this. So we need to install expo install expo-clipboard. So expo-clipboard is a package. If you want to find documentation, you can Google expo clipboard. I won't explain it in too much detail because it's very self-explanatory. But let me start this up again. And in the home screen, I'm going to go to the top. And I'm going to say import all as clipboard with an uppercase C from expo-clipboard. And then if I scroll down, underneath the on submit button, I'm going to add another function here. Const copy to clipboard equals use callback. And I'm going to set this to an arrow function. All we're going to do is say clipboard dot set string async. Now it's an async function, so we actually want to await this. So await copy. So await clipboard dot set string, and because we're awaiting it, we need to put this inside an async function like that by specifying the async keyword. So set string async, and then we just want to set it to result text like that. That's it. I'll need to put my dependencies on this, so I can do a comma and then just put clipboard like that. Okay, cool. So I'll copy to clipboard, and I'll take that name of the function. I'll go and find my copy to clipboard button, which is here, and then I'll just add an onPress there. onPress. Now I'll just set that to copy to clipboard. So if I save it, I need to restart this. Oh, it wasn't running yet. Let me just start that up. So this should work now. Let me restart that app. Of course, it's disabled at the moment because there's no text in there. But if I translate something and click this, so I've copied it. If I go to here and just paste that. Oh, I know why it hasn't worked. I need to set a dependency on this to result text. I just remembered off the top of my head even. So if I go back up to here on the use callback, this should be clipboard. To be fair, we don't even need to set it as clipboard. That won't ever change. So we need to set it to result text. Basically, what had just happened was this was set to only render when this changes. So right at the start, it created this function when result text was an empty string like that, and then even when result text changed, it wasn't re-rendering this function because we told it not to. So it was still setting to an empty string. So yeah. Essentially, just change clipboard here to result text. All right, give that a save. That was a pretty stupid thing from my part. Let me refresh this, and I'm gonna write hello, translate that, and I'm gonna copy this, and if I paste somewhere here just so you can see it, you'll see we get that. Cool, it works. Yeah, pretty simple. Okay, the next thing we want to do is work on outputting some history items. Now, in order to output history, we need to actually set some kind of storage in our app, some sort of state storage. So for that, we're going to use something called React Redux. Now, Redux is just essentially a kind of global state across your app. It's some state that can be accessed across all your pages. So you see how we have state here, these state variables. These can be accessed on this page, but we're going to have a global state which can be accessed from anywhere. So that global state will contain our history items, it will contain our saved items. So if you haven't used it before, it will become quite clear to you as we use it. So don't worry about it too much. Just copy along with me. So what I'm going to do first is stop this. I'm going to run npm install React Redux. Actually, let me check if there's any dependencies. Let me just go to Google React Redux. There might be other things I need to install. Let me just double check. So I've typed in React Redux into Google. It's given me this website, reactredux.js.org. I'll click get started. Installation, what have we got? In fact, I'll go to quick start on the left, and then I'll scroll down here. So we don't just need React Redux, we also need Redux.js toolkit. So in fact, I'll copy that whole command, but essentially we just need to install both of those. So I'll get rid of that, and I'll just paste that whole command. So that's the command you want to run. It will install both of those packages. So yeah. Cool. The next thing it's going to tell us to do is create this store file. You don't have to copy this from here directly. We can type it out with me if you want to. So don't worry about scrambling to load this page up. Oops, where's that gone? Okay, cool. We've done that. Let me go ahead and start that. Start, and then we'll create that store object. I'll go to my file explorer on the left. Let me close down some of these. I'll close down components and screens and utils, and I'll create a new folder called store. It's in the root of my project. And I'm going to create a new file in there called store.js. And it's going to be a really simple file. I'll just export default configure store. Configure store. And that will import it from Redux Toolkit. All right, and that takes a parameter, which is just an object. So put your curly brackets inside parentheses. And you just have a reducer. And for now, I'll just set that to an empty object. We'll come back to that. But essentially, we've just done that step exactly. If I scroll down, what we need to do is wrap the whole app. So in our app.js, we need to wrap the whole app in a provider object, which just references this store. And what that means is any elements inside of this provider element will be able to access your state. So it's really simple. I'll go back to app.js. I think this might be the last change we need to do in app.js. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm going to import provider from React-Redux. All right, so I've imported the provider object, and then what we'll do is use that. So I'll take that, I'll scroll down to where we are outputting some code. So in this bottom part, in the app function, scroll down, where we're outputting these stack navigators, we have this navigation container. So what I'm going to do is just put that above there. So above the navigation container, I'll create a provider element like that. And I'm going to take that closing provider tag and move it onto the other side of the navigation container. So underneath like that. I'm going to fix the spacing by tabbing all of these across. And then all we need to do is just put a store, set the store property on this, and that can just be store. Will it import that from our thing? Yeah, I'll import that from our store right there. Cool, so that's the file we just created. Give that a save, and that should be fine now. There shouldn't be any errors. Let me just start my app. But essentially what this means is anything inside this provider object will have access to this global state that we have. You can create individual pages one at a time, and then each one you can wrap in one of these, and only the ones you wrap in this would have access to the state, but we've just done it for the whole app. So let me restart the app, just to make sure there are no errors, and just make sure the app loads okay. Okay, so we got an error about store not having a valid reducer, but that's fine. It is essentially working. It's just because we don't have any actual reducers there yet, but we will come back and add them in the next video.